Hey, hey, hey. Super excited today because today is just me and you must never part. Nucky da. Today, I am the expert for Ask the Expert. If you're excited, let me know in the comments. If you're watching later, still let me know. Let me see who's here. Let me see. Okay, yes, let me know. Can you hear me clearly? So we can get started. I'm super excited. Just say, hey, Tiffany, I can hear you. I can hear myself on YouTube, so I think we are good to go. So we're going to get this party started. Oh, finally. Good. Yep. So I decided today we were supposed to have another expert, but there was a little change of plans and she couldn't make it. And I said, that's all right, because I got a little expertise in me. And this weekend, Superman, who's my husband, and I, we are renovating a home we just bought. And a couple that's helping us renovate the home, it's such a beneficial relationship. The wife is a designer and the husband is a project manager and contractor. And with their help, we're going to put even more equity into the home because we're renovating it. And I thought, wow, this is a really profitable relationship. And then I was like, ding, 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 ding. You know, I have a lot of profitable relationships. And what I mean by profitable, it means relationships that make my life better, whether monetarily, it might be spiritually better. It might be just like, this person just makes me a better person or whatever. But a lot of my friends and acquaintances and relationships really uplift me and take me to the next level. And a lot of you have asked me sometimes, you'll ask me for suggestions of who do you use for a lawyer? I'm like, oh, I'm not the best lawyer in the world. Ari, this, and that. I'm like, wow, who do you use for an accountant? Oh, I've got the best accountant in the world. Carlos is this. And I'm like, I've got so many of these amazing relationships. And it's the reason why the Academy is the way it is. Like all of the experts, I would say 95% of the experts I have a personal relationship with. So these experts that I bring in, they teach you guys for free, but in exchange, they get to be in front of this amazing audience, which is you. But it's my relationship with them that says, you know what, I really believe in this dream that Tiffany has to make information that's typically not shared with this audience and make it shareable, And so I said, let's talk about profitable relationships. I actually wanted to print something out and it was hating on me today, but now I see it's working. So let's talk about ways to ways to attract, grow, and maintain. So that's what we're going to talk about. Attract, grow, and maintain profitable relationships. So first, let's define, like I already defined what a profitable relationship is. How about this? You guys share with me, what are some profitable relationships you've had in your life? People that have helped you take you from where you are to where you want to be. It could be a teacher, it could be your mom, but these are people that you probably interact with regularly. What if there's someone that you see like online and you're like, oh my gosh, I really admire such and such, and I would love to connect with her or him, or them. How am I able to do so? Because I know if this person was in my life, that it could possibly help me to shift to the next level. Does anybody feel like that? Maybe share some profitable relationships that you'd like to have with people, right? Are there some specific people that, we might know or not otherwise know? Share in the comments so I know that you're listening. Let me know. So I'm going to walk you through step by step the things that I've used to create and maintain and grow these profitable relationships. Some of the things I've done right, some of the things I've done wrong. Are you guys listening? Because I'm like, y'all ain't saying nothing in the comments. Don't leave me out here. I'm a teacher. I like call and response. Caliente Queen, you always vocal. Tell me something. What's a profitable relationship with someone that you'd like to approach? Sherry, Dawn, Tiffany, right? Oh, thank you, Ladybug Purple. Tiffany Elite, Tila. Oh, yeah, Tila. She's awesome. Michelle Obama. Okay, good. Yes, I want you guys to be vocal. Tila Holcomb. Yeah, Tila's awesome. And honestly, Tila is so approachable. And I'm going to show you how to approach. So, yeah, don't be shy because, yes, you know me, I'm a teacher. So I'm like, it's just me and you today. So I'm like, Me? Okay, so I'll give you an example. A woman hit me. I'll give you an example of a way not to do it. And I've done this way. So this is when I'm sharing the way not to do it, I'm sharing from a place of I've done this and people have done this to me. And I didn't realize how it felt until someone did it to me. And I'm like, ooh, that's why I didn't get the response I wanted. Okay. So here's a way not to do it. So a woman hit me up a few days ago on Instagram. I posted something and she said, "Oh, congratulations on whatever it is I posted on Instagram." She hit me up in my direct messenger. And I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she said something to the effect like, "I love what you're doing. And, you know, I'd love to get started with my credit or whatever. You know, is there anything you can do to help me?" I said, "Sure. That I have created a bunch of free resources that you can use that will really help you. And here's the one, especially if it's your credit, here's the one that you should use, the Live Richer Challenge Credit Edition, totally free. It'll walk you through step by step." And then she said, "Okay." And then maybe like I don't know, maybe a week or so later, she emailed me. It was like, "Hey, I really want some one-on-one help." And I said, "Oh, unfortunately, I don't do one-on-one help anymore, but you know, the resource I gave you will really be helpful." And she said, "Well, can you at least do a consultation with me to get me started?" By now I'm like this. You know I'm dramatic, right? "Man, I done gave you the rooter and the tutor." So I said, "Unfortunately, like I said, I don't do one-on-ones because I just don't have time. I'm with y'all." Right? But what I did do was I looked and I found and I said, I found there's a one-on-one business that I've partnered with. It's called the Financial Gym. They do one-on-ones. And so I said, you know, I don't do one-on-ones, but the Financial Gym does one-on-ones. And I really, the woman who founded it, her name is Shannon. She's actually really great. And they do one-on-ones. But do you see how that is a relationship that is not going, like if she writes me back again, quite honestly, because I you know, I get hundreds, if not thousands of messages across my board. So email, Facebook messages, Instagram, Twitter, where else are people? I mean, like literally every single, and then forget about notifications. So it's just not possible for me to answer. So she's now tapped out the well for me. I'm not going to respond anymore. Not because I'm rude, because if I never slept, never ate, never went to the bathroom, never left the computer, I still could not respond to every single person that hits out to me daily. And so now that's an opportunity that she's broken that ability to now tap back in, because I'm tapped out, you know? And so that's the way not to do it. And I'm not even mad at her, because I have done that when I've admired somebody or whatever, and I've reached out to them. And one of the worst ways to reach out is that your first reach out is ask, "Hey, Tiffany, I don't know, you can give me something. Hi, how are you? How you doing? How's your mom? How's your dog?" You know? So that's one of the worst ways, is to reach out with a direct ask. So we don't want to do that, right? A second really bad way to reach out is to reach out with the fake out. I hate the fake out. Actually, although I'm not a fan of the direct ask right away, the fake out is worse because it's not genuine. Here's the fake out. "Hey, Tiffany, how are you?" "I'm good. Can I have this and this and that?" And you're like, "Well, dang." Or like this, "Oh, congratulations on buying your new house. Thank you. So can you give me this and that?" So that congratulations was to get me just to see, like, "Oh, you heard me. I got you on the line." That's like when your friends say, "Hey girl, what you doing?" And you already know your friend doesn't have a car, and she's probably gonna ask you to drive her somewhere. So you try to be vague, like, "Oh, I don't know, a little this, a little that." Right? So that fake out is the worst. Don't give a fake compliment and then go reel in with your ask, right? And so yes. And so that is the wrong way to start a profitable relationship. So again, the definition for me for a profitable relationship is a relationship with someone who is going to help me take me from point A to point B. And some of those relationships come naturally, like your mom, your dad, maybe your older sister, whatever. And some are going to be people that you don't know and you're wanting to build a relationship with them. So here is the best way to start a profitable relationship. So point number one, and we're going to talk about how do you attract, right? So where are you going to find, so like a profitable relationship as it relates to business and growing your life, we'll call this person a high functioning mentor. So someone that you see, they might not be doing everything right, but in the one thing that you want. So maybe it's finance, maybe it's marriage, maybe it's hair, maybe it's whatever. They are high functioning in that specific capacity. So where do you find a high functioning mentor? Well, one, you might join clubs. Social media is like one of the best places, you know. But social media is the easiest place to find them, but sometimes the hardest place to connect. So if there is someone at your church or club that you join, or maybe you're wanting to be a speaker, so you join Toastmasters, so associations, you know, the Live Richer. We have Dreamcatcher chapters. So it's easier if you find your high functioning mentor in person, because then you already have this human connection. So, I mean, it's better, but it's easier to find them online. So I understand finding them online, and oftentimes that's where it starts, right? So the best place to find high functioning mentors is they typically are gathered around that particular topic or subject matter. So if you're in business, right? If you're in business, then, you know, you're wanting to join business associations and clubs and stuff. And when they meet up, you're wanting to join business Facebook groups. You're wanting to, you're wanting to use hashtags that, you know, business folks are using. You're wanting to follow people who are doing business and then see who they're following, you know? So people who are high functioning tend to hang out with other high functioning people. Like I said, whether it's people who've got dope hair, whether it's people who do great makeup, whether it's people who start a business. So find your high functioning mentor somewhere. Ideally in person, because it takes that extra hump out of it, but you're likely gonna find them online. And the way you find them online is to gather around the subject matter that you're wanting the high functioning mentor in. Start with Facebook groups. Those are super, super, super easy, because you'll find people who are talking about the thing that you're wanting. You love to travel? Join travel groups. You love, like I have 4C hair, which is like the kinkiest of the kinkiest. I'm in a 4C hair group. So I might see a girl whose hair is amazing. I'm like, ooh, how'd she get her hair like that, right? So that's first things first. Find your high functioning mentor. So that's step one. All right, y'all good? Let me check in on you, because I'm reading my notes, because you know I always got notes. I didn't get to print them out this time. All right. All right. Okay, so step two is what qualities attract high functioning mentors. So one, where do you find your high functioning mentor? We went over that. Two, what qualities actually attract your high functioning mentor? Here's what I've seen. High functioning mentors. So this is what attracts me, and this is what people have said when I've attracted them. High functioning mentors are looking for people who are already in transit. So here's the thing. If this is the high functioning mentor, moving, and you are here, moving, they're looking at you like, oh, she's stagnant, moving. High functioning mentors like to see, as they're moving, you don't have to be moving as fast, but that you're moving too. So they're like, oh, okay, because they're on the move. So if you're not on the move, what this means is I have to stop to assist you. That's not happening. If you're moving, if you're not moving as fast, I'll slow down a little bit to help you out and maybe even pull you along with me, right? So one of the qualities to attract a high functioning mentor is to be in transit, meaning working consistently on your goal. So if you're wanting to reach out to Tila, right? I wonder if Tila's watching today. And Tila is a trader extraordinaire, like she does stock trades, right? She teaches stock trades, and you're like, oh, I really want to learn. I really want to connect with Tila. Are you moving forward? Me and Tila Facebook message, not all the time, but enough. Are you moving forward? Because Tila knows that if I hit her up, I'm not going to stop where she is. I'm not going to stop her. That, like, if I'm talking to her, I'm going to be sure she's walking and I see Tila on the street, I'm going to be walking right beside her like, yeah, girl, so I got this really great idea, right? That I'm not going to hold Tila up with, like, help. A lot of people they're wanting from their high functioning mentor, pick me up, mommy, pick me up. Why would we do that? I've done this. Bring me with you. The high functioning mentor don't have time for that. We're not looking for toddlers and babies. You need to be a 4 or 5-year-old who can walk on your own, right? I don't mind taking you with me, but you have to be you have to be in transition. You have to be working toward. There's nothing more attractive to people who are doing the work than other people who are doing the work, right? So if you're wanting to attract a high functioning mentor, you have to show that you're doing the work. So if you're stuck, I get it. We all get stuck, but because here's the thing, you are not the only person asking for help. So if 100 people are asking for help, right? This is what I look for. 100 people are asking for help. And so people hit me on it's getting hot here. I'm about to be like, babe, turn off this. It's too hot. If 100 people are asking for help, and so they'll hit me on Twitter or whatever, I'll say, you know what? Shoot me an email and I'll see what I can do. Of that 100, maybe only 10 will shoot me an email. You can't even shoot me an email, but you want me to stop, help you, but I already know my help is going to be wasted. You want to know why I know my help is going to be wasted? Because if you can't send me an email, you are not going to take any of my advice. High functioning people do not want to waste time. That's why high functioning people want to work with people who are already doing the work. Because what it means is, with or without me, you're doing the work. That means I'm not going to waste my time with you. That means my time is not going to be wasted, because that means you're actually going to take action. You don't want to know how I know you're going to take action, because you're already taking action. That your action is not based upon me. So that's really important. If I feel like your action is waiting on me, I'm not going to help you, because I can't put you on my back and carry you with me. You have to be doing something. You know what I mean? So when I see somebody who's doing something, this is even better. So I meet somebody, like young women will hit me all the time, or in college or whatever, and they'll say, hey, can you mentor me? And I don't have too many mentors with mentees, right? But, so this is a mentee that I would find and take on. Hey, can you mentor me? Sure, email me. Let's see, she emailed me. She didn't email me, she ain't serious. She emailed me the next day or that day. Okay, great. My admin is gonna set up a time. You meet me at that time. You tell me what you're doing. You ask me, what should I do? I say, here's my suggestion. You should do A, B, and C. Half of the girls will never hit back. 1 or 2 girls will say, thank you so much for your advice. One of them will come back later and say, Miss Tiffany, I have done A, B, and C. Here's how I did it. Here are the results. What's next? Nothing gets me more excited than to actually share my advice and see somebody put it to work, come back and show and tell and ask me for some more advice. That's ego boosting, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know what, girl? Now you got to do X, Y, Z. Okay. I did X, Y, Z, and it's this work, but this didn't work. Oh, you know what? Now, all of a sudden, you're like, this is what a high functioning mentor is looking for. That like someone who, like, people don't want to be slow. People actually want to share. Because I'm telling you, when I'm doing like all of the things that I'm doing now and like things are working, there's so many things that I'm learning that I want to share, but I also don't want to waste my time. I want to share. Babe, it's like so hot in here. Don't mind me. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm dying. Just give me 1 second. I'm like, that was terrible, right? It was so hot. I'm like, I can't sit through this whole thing with the heat bumping at 80, right? So high functioning mentors really want people who are going to, because helping people typically enjoy really helping people, quite honestly. They do, but they know already, and we've all known from experience that the average person is really not willing to do the work. So if I speak to you on a phone for an hour, not only have I wasted your time, because you're not going to do it, you've wasted my time. I'm not going to do that, because I've done it. Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on the phone. People don't want to do that. So 1, show proof that you're already doing the work. So remember, this is a number 2 we're talking about, which is qualities that attract high functioning mentors. Show proof that you're doing the work. And then 2, if you do somehow get an audience with your high functioning mentor, take notes on what advice they're giving you. Do some of what they've, and not all of it, because everything's not going to apply necessarily, but do some of what they've asked at least. Come back and show proof with a thank you. Thank you so much. Yesterday, last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, you told me to start a Facebook account and this and this and this, and I did that. I just wanted to show you. Thank you so much. What? Not you got them like, well, shoot. Because high functioning mentors are looking for people who are going to do the work, and you never know what. And so now you start to build a relationship, right? So in the beginning, when it comes to your high functioning mentor, that it's not about asking. So you might start like a subtle relationship, like liking some of the things they do on social media, saying, oh my gosh, that's really great. Sharing some suggestions. I really love that. If you ever need help with your graphics, I do graphics, so making yourself of service. Because if you're going to be asking to take, for their time and their energy and their knowledge and stuff like that, and their access, then like show up with something, so here's what people will do. Sometimes they'll say, hey, Tiffany, I'd love to volunteer with you. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. I'll keep that in mind, which means I'm not going to keep that in mind because you have literally asked me to create a job for you. Like you created a job for me. So now I have to stop and look at my business and say, okay, so Sarah wants to volunteer. What's some things I could do to add Sarah? Oh, I don't have time for that. Sarah, come with your own job description. Hey, Tiffany, I noticed that some of your social media visuals are all different colors and stuff. They're not really on brand colors. You know, I do design. I'd love to help design some stuff. Even better, some of the social media posts that you've done, I redesigned them for you. And this is what they look like. Thoughts? What? I'm like, girl, jump into my pocket. Let's go. You my friend now. See? Because what you've done is you've added value without taking anything. Because saying, hey, I'd love to volunteer with you, you're asking your high functioning mentor to stop, think of a space to add you. Nobody has time for that. Instead, look to see what help they need. Even better, create the solution and show them a sample of the solution. So now you're adding to that high functioning mentor's life, and you're going to give and you're going to give and you're going to give, and then take just a little. And you aren't even going to have to take, because you're going to be able to, because as you're interacting with them and sharing and giving of like, you know, like, well, here's another box I created for you for on Canva for social media, or here's some copy I wrote. We wrote this copy. I think this will be a little bit, you know, and be mindful of what advice that you give. Meaning, people have egos, you know. I'm pretty open, you know, like, so if someone says, girl, that box is crazy, I don't mind. But you definitely are not wanting to insult. You're wanting to say, hey, I noticed this thing. I think what you're doing is great, but I've just added to it and tweaked it in a way I think that's going to be even more effective. I hope this is okay. You know what I mean? And so being proactive and being a giver before you're an asker, you know, because as you're giving, I have, Yada Lisa, I don't know if she's watching tonight. She's she started off. So the Unicorn Squad is a group of women that work behind the scenes on you guys' behalf for the dream builders and dream catchers. And Yada Lisa was an intern, right? And so now Yada Lisa works for the company, and she wants to start her own business. And so when she first started off, she was interning, helping the business, working for the company. And now every week I speak to certain people on the phone of the Unicorn Squad. I speak to them on the phone every Monday. Half our time when Yada Lisa and I are talking, we're talking about things that she could do to grow her business. But that's because after a year of her pouring into the company, of being of service and giving and sharing, and now she gets a one-on-one with me every week. So she uses that time to get her workout, like, oh, Tiffany, I'm working on this, I did this, and this. And, I know we have another 10 minutes. Can I ask you a quick question about? Of course you can. And then she reports back. But do you see how it took a while for her to be able to now tap into the knowledge that she wanted from me, but she gave before she asked. Okay. So we talked about 1, where to find a high-functioning mentor. 2, what qualities attract high-functioning mentors. High-functioning mentors are looking for people who are in transit, people who are going to take action, and who are already taking action, even more importantly. People who are going to be giving and adding to that high-functioning mentor's life in a way that makes sense. Because you might say, hey, Tiffany, I'm going to send you flowers every week because, well, I don't need flowers every week. Study my brand, study what I'm doing, figure out some ways that you can help make it better. Like, do that. If I was a florist, that might be something different, so you're wanting to make sure that the way that you're adding is a way that they need adding, but in a respectful way. So 3, how to successfully approach people you want to work with. So we talked about this a little bit before, which is I would start off one of my high functioning mentors actually is my business partner now. And so at first I just used to follow him on social media, took some of his classes. And so I was trying to do what I'm telling you guys to do. I would take his classes because he would do lives and stuff like that. And I would comment in the post and say, hey, I tried that. It really did work. Hey, here's a screenshot that it worked, And then 2, one of the things, I try to make myself visible, meaning liking posts, commenting on posts, but also showing and proof in my own life, meaning using social media to show, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm doing well. I'm building. And so before time, it took almost 2 years for us to have a conversation. And even then, For the first year and a half, we worked together casually where it was like, oh, he had gave me a little bit of advice here. And I was quick with it. I remember the first time he gave me something to do, I was actually going away on vacation for my birthday vacation. I was going to the Bahamas, and we were only going to have internet in the lobby. And I remember like wherever he was, because he doesn't like live anywhere. He like is a digital nomad. So wherever he was, his time was opposite of my time. So midnight in the lobby, I'm in the lobby at the Bahamas. He sent me homework to do because I wanted to show him I was serious, you know? Like he knew I was on vacation and he was still like, oh, you know, write over this copy for me and let me see how you write. Sure. You know? And so it was really important to me that I wanted to show that he wasn't going to waste his time with me because everybody was asking to work with him. Everyone. And then slowly but surely over time, he helped me build a 7-figure business. But you see how a profitable relationship could take you from here. Because when I met him, I had a low 6-figure business. And now I have a mid 6-figure business and a 7-figure business. So 2 businesses working on a 3rd, you know, and that was within a span of maybe 5 years. But do you see how a high functioning mentor, of course, he's not the only reason why I'm from here to here. There's so many people who have played a major role, but he's a major reason why I went from here to here. You know, but that took a lot of show and proof. It took 2 years of him literally, he was like, and this is what's happening for you too. He told me, I've been watching you for 2 years. Watching you for 2 years. And that happens. People will come up to me all the time and say, you know what? You know, I've been watching you for a while, Tiffany, and I was waiting for you to reach a certain level before I approached you. People are watching you. Just when you're ready to give up, people are watching to see how serious are you? How hard do you go? How much work are you putting in? So he watched me for 2 years before we had a conversation. Watched me every once in a while, like something. Every once in a while said, hey, you know, congratulations on that. And so sometimes it's not even about you approaching your high functioning mentor, is creating an environment where you can be approached. There's nothing more powerful than someone approaching you. So like I said, I wanted to work with him. So I definitely put the vibes out there of like I said, liking some of his stuff, taking some of his classes, making mention, emailing here and there. But I never made the move of saying, hey, I want to work with you, because everyone asked that. Instead, I wanted to make myself work with the ball. You know what I mean? So instead of saying, hey, it was more so like, hey, look at all the things I have. I'm going to be a good student. You're not going to waste any time with me. And he hasn't. He's made a lot of money with me and I made a lot of money with him. Right? So successful approaches is to, one, you know, start following them on social. Start commenting, not in a skeevy way. Start replying if they have courses or lessons or whatever, showing like some of the things that they've done, how you've used some of their tactics and share them via social media, tagging them so they can see that. If this is somebody you're meeting in person, definitely speaking, like if you're seeing someone, let's just say somebody like you're going to a monthly meeting or something like that. Make it a habit to chat it up with them. And it doesn't have to be business related or related to you making an ask or whatever. You might do something like, oh, I really like your shoes, or like, oh, your hair's really cute. Like making that human connection before you try to make some sort of like a connection that's good, that you're looking to benefit. People can feel that, you know, that this is the one thing that you have as an advantage, that you are a human being. And when you are real, other people can feel that, because what is human in me and what is human in you connect in some way. And so if you look right now, depending on when you're watching this, like Cardi B is having an amazing year and people can't understand why. So if you don't know, if you're post-millennial, like I am, Cardi B is a very, right now, popular hip hop female rapper. And a lot of people are like, she's not as talented. She's rough around the edges and blah, 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 blah. But she's having an amazing year. It's been amazing, more than amazing year, amazing years. And she's not traditional. It's not like she's Lauryn Hill or, you know, but here's why, because she is vulnerable and authentic. She does not, because she's not, superstardom is new to her. She does not know how to hide what is real in her, like so many stars that we see. So people are connecting with her beyond her music, because her music is okay, but they're connecting with her. That is a secret power that we all have, that authenticity, that realness is why you connect with me. Because I had decided that I'm going to show and be my full Tiffany self with my lisp and my hair and my skin and my talk too fast sometimes and my silliness and my wildness and all of that and my geekiness, all of that, I have decided that I'm going to show up and be my authentic self. And the human part in you recognizes that in me. And so we connect. And so it's a secret weapon that Oprah uses. It's a secret weapon that anyone that you cannot explain why you have this connection with them. And so be that. So this closed offness that the world sometimes makes you feel that you ought to be, that is not serving you. You know, it is okay to be open and vulnerable. I mean, yes, do I sometimes get played out? Yeah, but you know what? I also win as well. You're not going to win it all, you know? And so just knowing that true human connected, that true human openness in you is going to help attract other people to you. Okay. And so that's really, really important. And so that's one of the ways to approach and really attract high functioning people is to do the work and show that you're doing the work. And if they've inspired the work, let them know, right? Whether it's via social media or in person. So that's 3, right? How to successfully approach people you want to work with. Okay. 4, what working with your ideal mentor is likely to look like. Okay. So what working with your ideal mentor is likely to look like is this. I mean, I can't say for sure. It might be like I have a mentor now. Excuse me. Lynette Calfani Cox. She's amazing. She's the money coach. And she got me on my first television show. I met her at like some sort of conference or whatever. And we both live in Jersey. And it was in New York and she drove me home. And she was so nice. And she knew I was just starting out. And she was all over TV and all this kind of stuff. And she said, you want me to drive you home? I was like, yes. And then we were driving home. She said, have you ever been on TV? I said, no. She made a phone call like right there. She was supposed to be on this local news station called Pix 11 News in New York. And she said, you know what? Instead of me, you should have Tiffany. And I was like, I've never been on TV. And she said, I'll do some coaching. So for the hour and a half, I remember there was so much traffic. And normally it takes maybe 45 minutes to get back to Jersey. Where we were in New York. It was like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And she gave me my life. I had a notebook taking notes. And she was so open and giving and sharing. And so that was just a moment. Like, you know, sometimes you get moments like that, but I had to also be open to receive and listen. And I took her advice and I went on, I did everything she said. And then I showed her. And so she's someone I speak to maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, maybe. But so sometimes it might look like that. Your profitable relationship might look like once or twice a year connecting. Sometimes your profitable relationship will look like I'm in the finance community, right? And so I'm consistently, like, people in the finance community will tell you that I'm a giver, so I like to share. So if an opportunity comes up, like I've spoken at Essence Fest. I remember I was speaking at Essence Fest for one brand, and the competing brand asked me to speak at Essence Fest for them. And I said, no, but I know 2 dope women who could do it. Tanya of My Fab Finance and Marsha of the Finance Bar. So I was like, I'm speaking for Prudential, and it was Allstate, you know, their competitors. And so they were like, okay. They reached out to Tanya and reached out to Marsha. Guess who was speaking at Essence Fest too? Them too. And so that, you know, that's a relationship that's profitable, because now, I mean, me and Tanya and Marsha, we're friends, you know? So if I ask Marsha for a favor, you know, not that Marsha needed that, because we've connected like before that. But, you know, these are relationships we're always pulling back. When I was first starting, so I did that for Marsha. And when I was first starting the online academy, I didn't know anybody with the academy. Only person I knew with the online school was Marsha. So I hit up Marsha and I said, hey, Marsha, I'm starting an online school, but I don't know where to start. And she said, here's my login as an admin in my school. Here's my login. Look behind the scenes. Take notes on whatever you want. Hope it helps you. That's what she did for me. And so I did it. I was like, okay, I decided like, oh, I like this, but no, I don't want to really do this. And so that's a profitable relationship, because Marsha helped me to get to where I am now. And so profitable relationships start with this give and receive, but it starts with the give, the best profitable relationships. And so one of the reasons why we have so many Ask the Experts, all these experts, we barely repeat experts, if you notice. And you want to know why? Because 95% of them, I have a relationship with them and where I have given in some way. A year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3. So when I'm like, hey, do you want to do Ask the Expert? Because, you know, I would love for, oh yeah, sure. These people who charge My lawyer charges $5,000 to do a contract for me, but he's done Ask the Expert for free. We just had Art Steele, who did estate planning, who is expensive, and she's run multi-million-dollar departments at huge corporations, and she did it for free. And so, because these are relationships that I've built, because when you sow a seed, eventually you will reap, you know? And I don't sow with the intention of reaping. You sow with the intention of sowing. You see what I mean? You know, so the key thing about profitable relationship is that if you sow waiting for it to grow, then you're really not going to grow. First of all, one, things might take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to grow. And two, that intention is going to skew the way that plant kind of grows. So I sow with the intention of sowing. And then when I need something, I never am lacking. So when like my husband and I were looking for a home, and we ran through so many different realtors because I'm a beast. Like, here's the thing, like, as much as I'm silly and I'm fun, I work hard. I work 7 days a week, darn near, and I'm a beast. I work hard. When I, take my breaks, I take my breaks. But so none of the realtors could keep up with me, quite honestly, because I was researching, I was sending them stuff, and I'm like, is this house ready? Did you call them? I'm like, well, shoot, I was my own realtor. I'm calling places, setting up my own open house. Look, I'm a beast. And so the realtors couldn't keep up. And so I was running through realtors like, nope. So I called my friend Mark, who I have a profitable relationship with. Mark and I were friends through a mutual friend of ours. And he actually works at the airline. And not that it has anything to do with anything, but Mark, like a few years ago, decided that, you know what, I want to start a business. And he bought a bunch of laundry mats, which he did. And so Mark started to like really get into real estate. So here's just a friend who I met through other friend, and Mark and I just were always cool. And so when he started doing real estate and stuff like that, I said, you know what? I have a friend, profitable relationship, that actually has had real estate in Newark, which is where I wanted to buy. Let me call Mark. I called Mark. I said, Mark, I have a problem. I need a real estate agent, and I need a beast, because honestly, the agents are not able to keep up. And he said, I have a beast. I said, he said, no, Tiffany, I have a beast. You might not be able to keep up with her. I said, we shall see. He sent me this woman named Amina. Amina is a beast. Amina is this little with like 4 kids and 30-something years old, her and her husband, and has like 2 jobs. And when I say I can barely keep up with Amina, a beast. The house that we ended up buying just recently, another realtor sent me like a listing via email, and I said, oh, I'd love to see it. She's like, oh no, it's a foreclosure, and it's on an auction side. They don't really sell them, blah, 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 blah. So for like weeks, I was trying to get to see the house, and I was like, oh my gosh, this house is gonna go. This realtor, she was convincing me that no one could see the house. We can't lock, it's locked, it's as is. But Mark said, here's Amina's number. I called Amina, he already texted her. Hey Amina, my name's Tiffany. Within 30 minutes, Amina was at the house. And she said, I'm at the house. I'm inside. I suggest you put on some pants and come. A beast. Profitable relationship. 6 months later, we closed on that house. That house was worth $370,000. Amina got it for us for $180,000. $370,000. Let's do the math of equity that we have in this house. Right? Let's do the math. $370,000 minus $180,000. Already, our equity in this house is $190,000. That's a profitable relationship. She doubled our money. A profitable relationship, right? And so that's what I mean, that profitable relationships can link you to other profitable relationships. My relationship with Mark as my friend, I didn't know when I met Mark, who worked as a gate agent, then all of a sudden Mark was going to start investing in real estate. Who knew? But now I got a real estate investor. I didn't know that Mark was going to know Amina. Who knew? And now Amina, so as a result, now we have this house. So I posted on social media looking for someone to help us renovate our house. If anybody knows any contractors, a woman who took my class at the United, I used to teach at the United Way, teach financial education classes. A woman took my, took my class at the United Way, and she, like, I don't know, we just connected. She's super nice, smart. She's married with a son now. I saw her recently, maybe like a few weeks ago, before I was looking for a contractor and designer for the house. And we were talking and laughing. She said, Tiffany, I just love you because no matter what, you always the same. And I'm like, well, what else would I be? you know? So I didn't think this is a profitable relationship. Just a nice woman that took the class. She's always really friendly. Posted looking for a designer contractor. She said, my friend is a designer with her master's in design, and her husband is a contractor and a project manager. I think you should connect with them. And I said, okay. I connected with them. And the woman wrote me, she said like her story about, how she went to design school and blah, blah, blah. And she's worked for all these different companies, but she and her husband really want to start their own business, but they don't have any clients yet. And they'd be willing to barter to start me off as their first client in exchange for me sharing their new business. Profitable relationship. Now, they're not going to do the work for free, but they're going to mentor my husband and I as I have no idea how to do renovation. We were 100% going to be taken advantage of, 100%, because I didn't know anything. So they're walking us through step by step by step by step, right? And so they just came to the house this weekend, and I was like, wow. But in exchange, so the husband and wife, they're so awesome and dope. So now we're like couple friends, because my husband is like, oh, her husband is so dope. She has a daughter. We have a daughter. And it's just, we hung out yesterday after like surveying the house and taking measurements and stuff like that. We just had a good time hanging out. And I was like, wow, these are our new couple friends. They just sold their house that he renovated over asking. They sold their house. He renovated so well, it sold in a day. That's why I'm so excited, because his handiwork is like so amazing. Their house sold in a day. And she said, we need to buy a house. And guess what I said? I have a realtor. So now I'm connecting this profitable relationship, Amina, with this profitable relationship, our husband and wife design team. And they called each other, because I knew it was going to be magic, because her name is Rihanna, the designer, and Amina are both amazing women. Within 10 minutes of them calling each other, both of them texted me, thank you so much, she's amazing. So now they have built a relationship, and it's made my relationship with each of them stronger, because Amina's going to get a commission and Rihanna is going to get a house. You see what I mean? So profitable relationships, it's not just, I think sometimes people are always looking for this mentor that's going to raise you on up. No, sometimes there are horizontal people in your life. And if you can connect this person with this person, you don't know what that's going to yield. That might yield something that 10 years from now, you might be able to tap into, right? And so I'm always looking. So here's the key to really making the most and trying to make the most of profitable relationships, is that ask yourself, when something comes your way, that would be good for my friend Mecca. I haven't spoken to her in 10 years, but I know she's on Facebook. Mecca, I saw this on social media, and they're looking for moms who design. Let me send this to you. Right? And that's it, for no other reason, just to send it. And then 2 days later, Mecca might be like, well, girl, it's funny that you should hit me up, because at my church, they're looking for a speaker who knows how to do X, Y, Z. Oh, you see what I mean? And so I want you to think broadly when you think about profitable relationships. And working with people might not look like, so remember we talked about that's number 4. What is working with your ideal mentor, the profitable relationship, going to look like? It might not look like day-to-day speaking. It might look like you just sending them things and then sending you things. It might look like you checking in once a week. I definitely would not, especially if it's a mentor who is on the move, I definitely would not try to trespass on their time and try to hold them to like a weekly call or a monthly call or whatever. I would really wait, and nothing is worse to me. This is a clear red flag that I know someone's not doing the work, when they ask me something that they could have Googled. So you're not going to fool me in a profitable relationship and say, hey, Tiffany, so how do I raise my credit score? I'm like, she ain't serious. She's not saying, how do you raise your credit score? I have the challenges, goody emails. You can just Google that. No, you're not really serious. And so I want you to make sure that in your profitable relationships, that when you finally do make your ask, you're really asking something that only that person can help you with. How can I really tap into, what is unique to Tiffany that I can really tap into and get her expertise on? So I show that I'm willing to do this other work, but this is a piece that I cannot do because only really Tiffany knows this thing, And so, like, working with your ideal mentor might look a little sporadic, it might look a little scattered, or it might be, like I said, with Yadalis, my intern, she and I speak every week. It might look like that. And then last, and then I'll take some questions, is how do you grow and maintain your next level, your profitable relationship? All right. So the best way, if it makes me not want to connect anymore, but she has a following in our community. Okay, I'm going to look at this. Okay. I'll read some of your questions. So the next way to grow and maintain is to constantly be of service, right? And so when I'm thinking, like, as soon as Rihanna, the designer, said I'm looking for a realtor, I was like, yo, Amina is a beat. This thing about Amina is I don't share Amina wildly because Amina's already let me know I'm a mother of 4 or 5. I'm a wife. I already have a job and another job. Amina values her family time, and she's a beast, meaning she will go hard. And she's like, I honestly don't have time to work with most people. So I only really want to work with somebody who is like, I'm ready to buy right now. So with Amina, I hold it tight and I honor the fact. So if you ask me, oh, can you give me Amina? The answer is probably no. So, but I knew that Rihanna and her husband just sold their house. So they literally need to find some place in another month or 2. They're ready to buy now. So perfect. So like, that's how you continue to grow and maintain your profitable relationship, is by making connections for them that make sense for them. Like my accountant, Carlos, I have sent him so many people because Carlos is amazing. He actually told me no more. I cannot take any more new clients because you have sent me so many people. But when Carlos is busy, guess who can always get a call with Carlos? Me. Because I have built such a great profitable relationship, because I have sent him so much business that when I need a special favor, Carlos stops, drops, and says, what do you need? You see? And so that's really making connections that make sense for them. Yeah, so I'm going to go through some of your questions. So you want to make sure that as you're maintaining and growing your profitable relationship, that you are honoring the way that that person wants to be communicated with. Some people are texters, some people are callers, some people are emailers, and you're also honoring how often. And people are usually pretty clear about how they want to be communicated with. And sometimes, like being patient. So somebody might hit me, it might take me a week, and you might say, hey, Tiffany, I did the thing that you asked, and look, it worked. I made 2 sales. And I'm like, so it might take me a week because maybe I'm away or maybe whatever's happening. And I'm like, so being patient with that. Because sometimes people will hit me on social, and then they'll hit me again, and they hit me again, and they hit me on this one, hit me on this one, hit me. And I was just about to answer, and now I'm afraid to, because what that means is this person is, if you hit me on multiple platforms over and over, what that means to me is that if I connect with you, you are going to think that you have ownership of my time. So I'm not gonna respond. And so, because it's just, you've already shown me that you think that you have ownership by hitting me on every platform. Sometimes people think like, oh, it's okay to hit here and there, but be patient and to wait a little bit. Give people time to respond. Because if someone thinks that you are going to be trespassing on their time over and over and over, because dang, we haven't even spoken yet, and they're doing a lot, then people are not going to respond back. So just be mindful of that. It's better to move slowly. And not every relationship, every person I've hit up has not all hit me back. It's okay. Everyone is not going to connect with you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with them. Sometimes people just don't see it. Sometimes people are going through so many things behind the scenes that you couldn't even imagine, Okay, so let me take some questions. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's always, is it always, okay, so Ladybug said, it is always about the relationship, or it's not about anything. Exactly. Being about it has to always be, the relationship has to be the center. So I just got to get my lip gloss popping. The relationship has to be the center of it all, meaning I want what's best for you. If something comes across my path and I say, this would be a great thing. And this is before I started I was always a connector, because I'm like a little busybody, right? So I'm like, I was always in high school, like, I know this one, and I know this one in the chatterbox. And they're like, oh my God, my friend, such and such, she makes those bracelets. Hold on, let me call her. So that's one of my things. I'm a connector. There's a great book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. And in it, he talks about there are people like me who make connections for people. And so that's something that I do and I enjoy doing. So everyone's different. You might not be like, like a connector, meaning like your chatterbox. So you match this person to this person. But all of us run across opportunities that are not right for us, but they might be right for somebody else. Hit them up on social. Next time an opportunity, like for example, the other day I saw SoundCloud is doing that. They want women who want to create podcasts. SoundCloud is doing like a I don't know, some sort of free class or something like that. So, if you know a woman, maybe your sister or her sister's friend or a sister's friend, she said she wanted to start a podcast. Let me send her that link real quick, just for sending it. Like, so Facebook is doing this thing, this community, people who run communities, Facebook groups. They're giving away up to like $1 million. So to 5 people, and then like I think like $50,000, so like 100 people, something like that, to help you run your community. So I applied, and guess what? After I applied, I thought about all the other dope women that I knew that ran communities, and I hit every single one of them up and said, "Hey, girl, awesome resource. I applied. It took a little time, but do it early because you have a month. Good luck, because if I don't get it, I want you to get it." I sent it to probably about 10 dope women who ran Facebook groups that I thought, oh, if I don't get it, I want one of us to get it because she's running a dope Facebook group. So if I don't get it, one of them get it, I'm like, yay. I might have had a hand in her even knowing that existed. So when she wins, I win, right? So asking yourself, so practice that this week. Ask yourself, when something comes to my path, along my path, and it's a resource that might not be a fit for me, is it a fit for somebody that I know? Even if you just know them vaguely. You're just Facebook friends. You haven't spoken to them, but you just think to yourself, this is a good fit for someone, and just sharing it and leaving it, not asking for anything. It's a good practice. Despite not small beginnings, what does that mean? Okay. What do you do about people you once wanted to connect? Okay. Sherry, okay, what do you do about people you once wanted to connect with who have shared ideas with, and they have taken ideas and used them as their own? That is a definite, real possibility, Sherry. But here's the thing. This is why I said one of the best things to do is to be working on something, right? So first of all, one thing, nothing's new under the sun. So I'm working on a children's book, and I might tell another financial person I'm working on a children's book. They're like, me too. Well, our book is not going to be the same, because my idea of a children's book is not going to be their idea of a children's book. So they might, but if I'm already working on it, then what I produce and what they produce is something totally different. And then what you just know is that, like, well, duly noted. And it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Like, how many, when I started the Live Richer Challenge, nobody in the finance community was doing challenges. Now, we all are. Half of them, I showed them how to do my challenge. I said, look, step 1 of the challenge, do this. Step 2, and some people I didn't show. Actually, there was somebody who was supposed to be a friend of mine that literally copied and pasted my challenge and made it her own, took me off her email list, sent it to everyone, including my sister, because she didn't know my sister was on the email list. My sister hit me up and said, such and such is doing the challenge. I said, well, girl, I didn't invent financial challenges. She said, I'm pretty sure you invented this one. I was like, no, you're wrong. Maybe. She said, it's not just the wording, Tiffany. She copied and pasted it so bad, she forgot to take off Live Richer, the Budgetnista in one of the posts. Right? But still, my challenges are flourishing. Over 600,000 people are part of Dream Catchers. So that's going to happen, but everyone is not like that. And I find most people are not like that, because if you are really talking to a boss, they usually have too many things going on to take on your idea too, or at least to take on your idea well. So don't let that be a hindrance. Move on, still do the work. If this is an idea that you really love and you're working on, continue to do it. And just know that that's not the person, but the next person will be. Okay. Dang, Sherry. Okay. It makes me not want to connect with anymore, but I know she has a following in our community. Sherry, things like that can happen. I'm not, but here's what I say. Let me tell you something. I have been running a business for a number of years now, and people ain't doing as good as you think. So, y'all know I'm transparent. In that, like I share, like I have 7-figure business, 6-figure business. We bought the house cash. I'm transparent because that's just my nature. I like to just share. But I am in this business with a lot. I know a lot. I'm not talking about finance people. I'm just talking about business people, because I'm in a lot of business groups. I'm in a lot of business group, people who have been in business for years, following out the yin yang. No real money being made, or no real money being kept, or no real money being managed. Meaning that They have built the front, but not the back. I have worked really hard to make sure that my back is even stronger than the front. Because, like I'm a finance person. So it's really important. I have like 3 people. I have Rachel, CFO. I've got Misty, who does our bookkeeping. I've got Carlos, who's my accountant, and me. It's 4 finance people on my team, because that's how important it is to me. So oftentimes, Sherry, what you might be encountering is someone who's got the front but not the back. So she's scrambling. Get your back solid. Nobody can beat me at what I do, because no one's more Tiffany than Tiffany. I'm not worried about somebody else doing a financial challenge, because no one is more me than me. And my back is solid. So even if someone does it, I already have my market share. You don't need 600,000 people. Sherry, I know people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they have a few hundred people that listen to them and follow them. Because some of the people with the largest following that I'm telling you, I'm in these groups, I hear the conversation, and sometimes they come up to me and ask me for advice. And I'm like, girl, you need to stop worrying about what it looks like out there and fix in here. Your inner. So Sherry, work on your real plan, and still continue to connect and reach out, because those connections are going to be critical in your growth. You cannot go by yourself. All right. Let me see. Oh yeah, Spotify podcast bootcamp. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, the deadline applies tomorrow. Yeah, it was definitely the Spotify podcast. Okay. Okay. How did you handle? Did I ever confront the person? Yes, I did. So when that person stole my challenge, like literally when I say stole it, like copy and paste, like left my name in it accidentally. I actually emailed her. I messaged her on Facebook. I said, hey girl, this came to my attention that this is my challenge, and I know because screenshot you forgot my name in here. This needs to come down. And she never wrote me back. This is somebody who we weren't friends in the hey girl, hey talk all the time, but friends. And I went to her conferences. I spoke at her conferences. We talked on the phone, like cool enough. Right. And so she never wrote me back. I looked on her site. It was taken down. And that was literally it. She never wrote back. She never commented. She never nothing. She just took it down. And we have not spoken since. We're in some of the same groups, where it'll come up and she might comment under one of my posts, whatever. I don't have any hard feelings, because honestly, I'm moving forward, but I just was like, okay, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's somebody right now, I'm sure, copying and pasting right now. And if I catch it, sometimes I make mention of it. And sometimes I'm just like, I have so many things on my plate right now. My friend Cabral gives the best advice. He said to me, people can only do what you've already done. Meaning, that's all, girl. They cannot do what you finna do. They cannot do what's coming, because I don't even know what's coming, right? So I know that the magic is all in here and all in here, my heart and my head, right? And so she cannot copy my heart and my head. She can only copy what's already done on paper. It's old. So, okay, you did that. Okay, well, it's not cute, but we move forward, And so, like I said something to her, and yeah, let's see. You're right. She put on the event. I shared it with her and it was a dud. Exactly, Sherry. So girl, don't let that be, and sometimes here's the thing. She might have put it on the event and it might have been amazing. And you could still put on your event, because guess what? There's millions and millions and millions and millions of women. And everybody's not going to follow me. Everybody's not going to follow the finance bar. Everybody's not going to follow my five finance. Everybody's not going to follow. There are so many people in the space that you're in. So if 200 of them like her, you still got about 12,000 other women out there that you can approach. Don't worry about that. And don't let that keep you from making real connections, because that's when people pull you in. So I'll give you an example. One of a really profitable relationship that I have is a friend of mine, Lovey. So you might know her. She has a blog, really popular blog called Awesomely Lovey. She's a New York Times bestseller. And so Lovey and I met at like Essence Fest or something. I think we met online first, but we actually became real friends. And so she's funny and she's Nigerian like I am. So we always have our Nigerian jokes. And so there was this big conference in Boston called the Boston Women's Conference. It's the largest women's conference, not financial, but professional women's conference, I think, in the country. It's like 15,000 women or something like that. So Lovey, just being Lovey, I get an email from someone at Boston Women's Conference and says, hey, Lovey spoke here last year and she told us we had to get you. So we got to get you. what do we have to do? Meanwhile, let me tell you who spoke to the women's conference. Meryl Streep. Let me tell you who spoke. Diane von Furstenberg. Let me tell you who spoke. Viola Davis. It was the who's who. Now, I wasn't on the main stage with the main girls, but I was in the building, and my session, standing room only. So much so they actually opened up the room next to it, put up video monitors so people could watch me in the other room while I was live. And that was because Lovey made that connection. And I was like, whoa, that was crazy because of that profitable relationship. Because we're just friends, we're cool. She's not even in the same space as me. But when things come up, Lovey's always throwing stuff my way. Matter of fact, she don't watch this, but she got some flowers coming to her because she just sent me something that might result in a 7-figure deal. 7-figure deal of a connection. She told somebody, you need to talk to Tiffany. Just off some, hey girl, when we tease each other, when I see her, Lovey, how are you doing, my dear? Like us playing and playing around with our Nigerian accents and all of that leading to these amazing opportunities, you know? And so I don't worry, like you can worry yourself over the things that are negative, or you could put your energy toward the things that are going right. And because what you think about, you bring about, you know? And so, well, she said, my level of peace is, girl, I wasn't peaceful today. Blue, my level of peace is admirable. It wasn't peaceful. Like today, I was literally like in the bed, like, oh, I have so much work to do, and I have this, and I have that, and I have. I get really overwhelmed fairly easily, and I'm a big old crybaby naturally. And I was like looking in the mirror, like, you know, gain all the weight back. You know, you're not as vegan as you used to be, and I was beating myself up. But I told myself, I said, then I played on some Drake in his new song called Nice for What? And I started dancing in the mirror with my jelly belly. And my husband came in because he was hanging out with the boys tonight. And he came in and he saw me dancing. And we both started dancing in the room just for no other reason. Like, and I realized, girl, you got your jelly belly out and your husband don't care. Who cares? And like, you get the work done you always do. And I get that it can be overwhelming, but you're going to be fine. And you know what? Like, but it doesn't mean that tomorrow I'm not going to wake up and be like, oh, I hate everybody. They hate everything and it's too much. And I quit. And that's how life goes, you know? And so I'm trying to learn not to be so hard on myself, but I don't succeed most of the time, you know? But like I said, that what I do know is that we often make things worse. And if life is already going to throw you some things that are hard, try your best not to compound upon them and make them worse. Ask yourself, because truly, it's not I'm learning. And I told myself, I said, Tiffany, honestly, your happiness is not coming from your business. It's not coming from the money that you're making. It's not coming from, you know, because I was smaller before and I was bigger before and smaller before. It has nothing to do with that. I was like, really, it's family, friends, love. So if you really focus on that, then at any moment in time, you can choose to be okay. You know, you can choose. And that's another thing that attracts people to you. At any moment in time, you can choose to be positive. You can choose to be peaceful. It's hard, you know, because I certainly wasn't this morning. I was definitely laying in the bed, like literally, he was happy to see me dancing because when he left earlier, I was in the bed like, leave me alone. Life is terrible. I quit the Budgetnista. I don't want to do this anymore. I hate everybody. Where is everybody? I need help. I'm overwhelmed. And then he comes back and I'm like, hey, I'm such a Libra, right? Crying in the morning, dancing at night. Let's see. Had an idea that I shared and is becoming big for someone else in the entertainment industry. Just because I shared it, I decided it's okay because I didn't move on it. Bertina, you can still move on it. You can still move on it. You can, honestly. Like, I'm not the only person who does challenges. I'm not the only woman that talks to women about money. I'm not the only person that wears locks. No, there's not one florist shop. Even in one city, there's more florists. There's literally multiple rainbow, like remember the rainbow, like the cheapy clothes? In Newark, there's like 3 rainbow shops. In Newark alone. How many McDonald's are in your city? You can still move on it, you know, because everyone's not going to be attracted to that person, you know? And also too, like build your relationship because that's what's going to help to connect you to this group or that group. Like, so I might build relationships since I'm African in the African community that maybe this person can't because I'm West African, but I also might build relationships with women and this guy can't because he's a man. And I'm also might build relationship with women of color, but this person can't because I'm a woman of color. So build your relationships. Use that. That is really your superpower. No one can take that away from you. The woman at the bus stop, the woman who when I go grocery shopping, I give them my Budgetnista bracelets. I might see them later on at the bank. A woman hit me the other day. She was like, "You gave me your bracelet when you was at ShopRite." And I was telling my boss, "Can we have her come in and talk to the employees?" And they hit me up. The cashier. Profitable relationships. You're not going to get to Oprah, but you can talk to the cashier, and the cashier can't talk to the manager, and the manager can't talk to the district manager, and the district manager can cut you a check. Right? Profitable relationships are everywhere. So I want you to practice massaging profitable relationships. And how can you be of service to others? Because in giving, giving activates abundance. Say that 10 times. Giving activates abundance. In giving, you are sowing the seeds for future abundance. You don't know how, you don't know where, but you are. All right. Let's see. Oh, somebody said Drake. Yes. Okay. JD me. I've been doing financial coaching for friends and loved ones and send them to your challenges as part of our onboarding process. Yes. Thank you. See? That's awesome. JD me. Your rooms will make gift for you. Yep. Remember to say thanks. Yes. Thank you. Yep. That follow through is something else. I can't tell you how many people that I've done stuff for and they don't come back and say thank you. And that's honestly, it's okay because I won't half the time I'm just giving and sharing, but I do remember the people that say thank you. There are certain people that have direct lines of access to me at any moment in time because just of like their follow through and how kind they were when they were like, "Thank you so much, Tiffany." And so when they need a favor, I stop, drop, and I say, "What do you need?" One step at a time. Yes, I love that new song too. Right? I was in that room like, "Nice for what?" Yes, network equals service. Networking really is about service. Activate giving, activates abundance. Okay. Any last questions? Before we roll out with Drake, it has curses in it, so I don't want to offend my saints. But like I said, like being discouraged is part of the process sometimes, and it's okay. I don't ever want to give you the impression that like it's always rainbows and butterflies. The truth of the matter is, before, like I said, I was having like not the greatest day, not a terrible day, but not a great day. But this gives me joy, honestly. Like when I get to teach and sit in front of you guys, it brings me joy. So you're almost always going to see me at a heightened level of joy that might distort your view of like, "Oh, Tiffany's always happy." No, I'm always happy when I'm talking to you because I truly love teaching. So I look forward to when the days when I'm like, "Oh, things are not really going right." But I know like, "Ooh, ask the expert." Sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing ask the expert. And as soon as I get here, I'm like, "Who am I kidding? Hey," right? Because I truly enjoy doing this. So one of the things I do, and I'll leave you with this, right? One of the things the tipping point is really good. One of the things, it's by Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. I'll put the link in the when we go to Facebook. So one of the things I'll do, and I'll leave you with this so 2 things I want you to practice, right? So we went over where to find a high functioning mentor. We went over what qualities attract high functioning mentors and how to successfully approach people that you want to work with. What working with your ideal mentor might look like, and how to grow and maintain your next level relationships. So we're talking about high functioning people. But what I really want you to also practice in day-to-day life, I want you to practice connecting with the regular people around you. So yes, I want you to work on getting your high functioning mentor, but even bigger than that, because the people around you on your day-to-day are going to have the biggest influence on your success or not. So I want you to connect with the cashier. I don't care if it's just to say your hair is cute, girl. Or like I remember like it was I was at the bank and the girl who was like, we were like paying for the house, and her name was Tiffany. And she was like, "Hi, ma'am, something, something." She's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "The best name in the world, Tiffany." And she started giggling. That was it. I'm probably never going to see her again. I want you to practice connecting with people around you, especially people that you're going to see on a regular basis, and start to build those relationships of just for no other reason, just to build that because you don't know what's going to happen, right? So just start to sow seeds of people around you. Like someone is squeezing oranges and not showing half, like, "I never know how to," you hear them whisper under their breath, "I never know how to choose oranges." You're like, "Oh, the best way to choose an orange? You can smell it. If you can't smell it through the skin, that means the orange is not ripe." "Oh, thank you." Because you never know. You might get to the line and you only have a few things. And they're like, "You know what? Come in front of me because you helped me with that." You know, you just don't know. So start fostering day-to-day relationships around you, right? Just practice that. And then lastly, just practice being of service and giving for no other reason than giving, and letting go of the fear that someone is going to take as a result of you giving. There are going to be people who take, but they can never take more than you have to give. They can't, you know, they can never take more than you have to give. So yeah, connect with people around you, build those profitable relationships. Everybody is not going to be a high functioning mentor. Sometimes it's the cashier girl who knows the girl who knows the girl, or sometimes it's just the cashier girl, you short 50 cents and she said, I got you. Sometimes, everything is not going to turn out to be $1 million idea. It's just good practice to be of good service, And so, yes, you can grow just by being yourself right where you are. You don't have to have, when I started, I didn't know 10,000 people. I didn't know 100 people, You can start right where you are. And from there, just radiate out. Your kindness will precede you. People will hear about you. Like this is, I remember somebody had posted something bad about me. For those of y'all who know, I had fibroid surgery recently, and I was home recovering. And somebody posted something in the group and it got deleted by one of the admins because I wasn't online, obviously, because I was home recovering, because fibroid surgery can be like a lot. And I guess because her post got deleted or something like that. And this is a woman who's like a leader in her field. I had never heard of her, but she's a leader in the business, like women who like run businesses or whatever. So she posted something about me on her Facebook page. And I didn't know until actually Tila, that you guys said you want to connect with Holcomb, reached out to me. She said, girl, I think such and such is talking about you on your page. So, and I'm like, what? She said, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, girl. I'm home trying not to die. I'm not even on social. Because you text me, so I'm just reading it. And she sent me the link and I read it. And it was just like, I don't know. That was some bad person because her post was deleted and I must be jealous and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but I'm not even on Facebook. I'm home trying not to die from my surgery. And I remember one of the things that really touched me, because I was going to reply to it. Then I said, girl, you are literally supposed to not be on social media. You're supposed to be home resting and not stressing out. But one of the things that touched me was how many people were in the comments who I had served, who was like, Tiffany, the Budgetnista, Alicia, that's the person you're calling selfish or this and that. Tiffany, someone was like so many people were like, a year ago, I hit Tiffany up on social media and asked her a question. And she said, girl, this is too much to type, call me. 2 years ago, Tiffany helped me build my XYZ. 3 years ago, I emailed Tiffany and she sent me this. 4 years ago, I asked her what contract she used. She sent me her contract for free. 6 years ago, Tiffany gave me this. 2 years. So many people were in the comments saying, like, the people who didn't know me were like, oh, she must be jealous, but they weren't dream catchers. They didn't know me. But so many people who either knew me or interacted with me made her post a lie. So I didn't even have to say anything. And I thought, that's what you want to leave. Sometimes, and it was unfortunate because the truth of the matter is the admins shouldn't have deleted her post. They'd be going ham sometimes in the group. So the post wasn't that bad that she posted. So it didn't need to be deleted, but it was nice to know that the seeds that I had sown had flowered into such beautiful feedback. And I never even responded and it died and nobody cared. You probably don't even know that it happened. And it's dead now, but do that. And that's what I really try to focus on. I mean, like, I'm really sensitive. So I hate for people to say something bad about me, especially when I didn't do anything. But I even more so try to work on making sure that people have good things to say, to make that anybody who says something bad, to make it a lie, because it's just not true, All right. So I hope you enjoyed this class. Let's head on over to Facebook as we normally do. If you have any feedback, any questions, yeah. And I'm here to serve. I enjoyed you guys. This one-on-one, just me and you. Me and you. Let's never talk. Let's be da. All right, guys. Bye.